Can you change your life in 1 year?
Exactly 1 year ago, I decided to quit my successful agency in order to pursue my dream.
We are at 920 members already. It's the beginning of something so big. It's the beginning of a movement. We are actually doing it. We're making an impact on lives.
I guess we're about to find out.
I am currently recording the trailer of Project 365. It's going to be insane.
It's exactly 1 year ago that I started with Project 365, a full year of commitment towards one dream. Can you really change your life in 1 year? And if so, how? Around 40% of people set New Year's resolutions, but only 8 to 9% actually keep them for the full year. I used to be the same. Since I was a teenager, I dreamed of becoming successful. I grew up listening to Tony Robbins, and reading Napoleon Hill, and at 18 years old, I started my first ever business. For years, I tried while everyone around me seemed to progress. I felt like I was slowly falling behind. I tried everything. A startup, a clothing brand, music production, e-commerce, an agency, and most of it failed, but I never quit. All the books I read repeated one lesson over and over again. You only lose when you quit. That was the last thing I was going to do. And then at one moment there was a shift. I moved away from what if to when and at what scale. I stopped being a victim and started owning everything. Challenges became decisions. And the faster I made the decision, the faster I seemed to grow. Fast forward, I became part of building a company that grew from 3 to 50 plus people in less than 2.5 years. We did millions in revenue. We spent millions on ads. We became market leader. Basically, the dream I always had became true. Naval once said, "First become rich in order to realize that money doesn't solve all your problems." Money solved my money problems, but I felt lost.
If I ever see this back, this was the moment. Living Bali, feeling like absolute shit. Most of the times these moments are what is going to define you. The moment that you realize that you live the life you always wanted to live, but you build something that is bigger than yourself, like employees, team members, people that count on you. And if things just don't work out and you can't get it fixed, the level of stress, bro, it's a lot. I can sit behind my laptop the whole fucking day, but nothing useful comes out. So I need to get my head straight, make sure to fix this shit. All part of it, guys. All part of it.
How do you walk away from something that finally works after all of these years of trying? So I knew that I had to make a decision. I went into the jungle with just a notebook and I asked myself 4 questions. What do you truly want? What is stopping you? What is the worst thing that can happen? And what is the best thing that can happen? Normally, when you're thinking about making a scary decision, it's only the worst case scenario that comes to mind. All the bad things that can happen when you make this decision. So I wanted to know, like, if everything works out exactly how I want it to work out, like, what would that look like? And is it worth the risk? And the crazy part is, I had been overthinking for months, burning myself out with indecision. And within a couple of hours, everything became crystal clear. Because deep down, I already knew the answer. I just didn't dare to admit it.
I want to create stuff. I want to be busy. I want to grow as a person, but I just want to do something for myself instead of doing something for others. Yeah, man, that's why I made this scary decision. And I thought about this very, very well. I am going to quit and I'm going to do something that is extremely risky, hasn't been proven whatsoever, but still it feels like it's the right thing to do.
So for now, for me, it's the most important thing to see like, okay, what are the next steps? I quit this cooperation, this partnership. We go back in revenue. How can I make sure that I go to that place I want to be? I always wanted to do something else. I always wanted to create a brand. Well, currently, I'm thinking like, okay, how can I create a system that will make me money pretty much on autopilot, which includes the knowledge I gained over the last 5 years. I'm going to build something amazing myself.
Overnight, my agency lost 70% of the revenue. I restructured everything, grew the agency again, automated it, and decided to work on the vision I had been carrying for years. building the new standard, a private brotherhood for ambitious entrepreneurs who want to be surrounded by like-minded people. A place where we keep each other accountable, a place where we want to see each other grow, a place where we're constantly working on becoming a better version of yourself. And what I didn't tell you yet is I already tried this idea once and it failed miserably.
How are we going to build this community? What do I need? Who do I need? And what strategies are we going to use? Doing this community brings me back to the moment I started with business, like doing something completely new, completely from the ground and not knowing exactly how to do and what strings to pull. It's a funny process with a lot of growth, I guess.
But it didn't fail because the idea was bad. It failed because I tried. And that's a problem with trying. If you try, you leave the door open to escape when things get hard. I didn't fully commit it. So I did two things. I created a real plan, and not just some loose goals, but a clear, actionable system. And then I just followed the plan. At that time, I was in Marbella for a month, and I was building something that, if executed right, it made failure almost impossible. That was the goal.
This is the small little workstation. It's perfect. It does its job, so it's perfect.
Obviously, last year I created the new standard and I've got sidetracked, and I think a lot of people have this issue. Like, you've been working on something and it's not actually that thing you want to work on. As I said, I got sidetracked because I needed to do different things. Some partnerships ended, but I just made the decision to go all in on this.
And when this plan was finished, I thought, why not just share this with the world? And that's exactly how Project 365 was born.
Biggest mission is to create a place for young guys where they can learn from each other, connect with each other, grow together, keep each other accountable. That's like the biggest mission. 10 years ago, I had a dream and I gave up on it. So now I'm on the pursuit of realizing that dream. What is that next thing? I wanted to create this movement, this community for young guys who were in that same position I once was. Not knowing what to do, what to pursue, being indecisive, how to work on yourself, how to work on your mindset. I wanted to create a community for those guys.
How does the success feel?
It's crazy, man. It's not even the numbers. It's just like, oh yes, we can finally make an impact on lives. I see like the answers coming in. How much that one video inspired them is insane.
I had literally no expectations, but that first video blew up. 10,000 views, 20,000, 50,000, 150,000 views. I had no idea what was happening. And it didn't stop there. More than 7,000 people started using that plan.
It's crazy to see that it has been received so well. I can't say it enough. Like, I made this decision 6 months ago and I had no idea how it would turn out. And to see the first reaction of people that it's this well received is just crazy, man. It's just also for you a sign. Like, the moment you go for something and you sacrifice something, you can never know what happens. If you have that in mind and you don't make that decision, it will just chase you for the rest of your life.
And that's when I realized something powerful. Action silences doubt. Overthinking feeds hesitation, but movement cuts through the noise. Always. The moment you start, fear loses its grip. Progress doesn't come from certainty, it becomes from doing, the act itself. And even before the new year started, I was already in full momentum. I was going because I took the action. It doesn't happen here. It happens here. It happens on the play field. At the beginning of the year, I moved to Cape Town with extreme clarity, fully committed and no way back.
All my friends.
And I lived in a house with 2 friends which were also entrepreneurs. And without even realizing it at the time, living with them was one of the biggest reasons that my last year in 2025 was such a success.
This is what I mean. If you surround yourself with people who push you forward, who believe in what you're doing, who support you, you help each other, you make each other better, you push each other. And that's just a life hack.
Your environment is literally everything. Your belief system is socially reinforced, not self-generated. Bigger conversations lead to bigger ideas, and bigger standards lead to a bigger life. And this was the exact moment that the new standard stopped being a dream and became a real business. The first members joined, We hosted the first sessions. I was living something that used to exist only in my head, and now it was becoming a reality.
A year back, it was an idea, and now it becomes something physical, right? I know for a fact that this is going to happen. This will be a movement for a lot of young guys to get them to the next level.
There are 3 questions that determines your quality of life, and most people spend only 5 minutes figuring them out. Who do you spend the most time with? Where do you live? And what do you do? If one of those answers is costing you energy, change it. Every chapter of this story points to something, and they all start with a C. First, we have clarity. You need to know exactly what you want, not vaguely, exactly. You need to have a vision that's bigger than any obstacle you will face, because you will face obstacles, you will face challenges, everyone will. You need a burning desire that's bigger than all of these problems and all of these obstacles you will face. Then the second C was commitment. Trying is action without conviction. When you burn the boats, something changes inside of you. There is literally no other way, so you have to make it work. The third one, connections. The people around you shape your thoughts shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your life. Listen, if the room you are in isn't inspiring you, you are in the wrong room. If you spend time with people who don't support what you want, it's time to find people who do. So we only have one C left, and this one ties everything together. You can have clarity, you can have commitment, you can have all the connections in the world, but if you pursue something without this last step, it still will be impossible to succeed. And trust me, I learned this the hard way in 2025. I went all in. 90 days of extreme goals.
I have 7 goals. Some are physical, some are business-wise, and the relationship goals. So the first goal is getting below 10% body fat. I think we're well on our way. Doing a Hyrox, building the new standard community to 200 members. We're currently on 22 fucking amazing guys.
Weekly high-quality YouTube videos, building 2 businesses, traveling from Cape Town to Dubai to Bali, all at once, because I was committed. I was committed to make it work, and I achieved it. But then I just completely collapsed. This time I actually took it too far. And that's the moment when I learned the last step, something very important. Consistency beats intensity. Speed matters, momentum matters, but going too hard for too long will break your sustainability, and it breaks your consistency. So I had to adjust. After that, I went more calm, collected, focused, strategic. We launched the campaigns for the new standard, and within the first month, we had over 400 applications for my new brand, for the new standard. And just like that, I went from this dream that was in my head for years to actual reality, to a real brotherhood. Over the last couple of months, we welcomed more than 100 amazing guys into the new standard. Guys from all over the world who come together with only one goal in mind: to become the absolute best version of themselves, and also to help each other to step into that same version. TNS became even better than I expected it to be.
The impact has just been insane. Just changed like so many different things for me.
When I joined, my business was literally at the bottom. I had 1-2 clients only making 1,000 a month. Now 22K a month.
Once we actually joined, things just started to get better and better.
It helped me become more of a leader myself. As an entrepreneur, you don't really have someone that gives you feedback as it is. The people in the community itself, they will give me my bullshit.
Constant accountability, reflection, brutal honesty. Every week, gaining more clarity.
You can learn so much from each other. If you have one question, there is somebody in the community you can ask.
The calls are actually very insightful, and it has been best decisions we've made this year.
If you're someone who has a goal and really want to put in the work, this is the best decision.
You can make all the money in the world, but in the end, it's not about the digits in your bank account. It's about the impact you leave behind.
And I know it sounds crazy, but this is actually the first time I do something that I wanted to do so long, but didn't do because I was afraid of I don't know what. And now I'm just doing what I want to do. I gave up pretty successful business to
to do this, to pursue this. I just want to send out the message, like, if you have something you want to do, don't let anything hold you back and just do it. We have this one life to live. Yeah, what is the worst thing that can happen, right? So
I have seen that the online business space is pretty toxic. Everything is about money and everything is about status. But I've learned one thing from the very beginning. There is no amount of money worth breaking your standards and principles. I wholeheartedly believe that what you give is what you get. And if we all think a bit less just about ourselves and actually try to provide something to this world and to different people in any form, I am sure not just your experience, but the whole experience will only get better. Before you leave and before you move on to the next video, I want you to remember this. Just knowing something has no value. Only when you live what you know, you can actually change your physical reality. If this video inspired you in any form, in any way, if it brought value to whatever you try to achieve, make sure to take these things and implement them. My mission since this year, and I will never stop doing it, is to make an impact on as many lives as I possibly can. And that's also the reason why I will give you access to the introduction videos of the new standard for completely free. 18 videos called Set the Standard, with lessons and principles that shape the last 12 years of my life. If you click on the link in the description and you use the code CHANGE, you can watch all of those videos for free. But remember, watching them won't change anything, but implementation will. This year I made the decision to stop chasing views, and I decided that every video I put out needs to leave a positive impact on anyone who is watching it. So if that has been the case for you with this one, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're coming with a lot more videos like this. And also leave a comment with your insights, with something that you learned from this, and what you're working on. I'm very curious who is watching the video. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Ciao.